Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gym Owners Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Stone. Over there's John Fairbanks. How we doing, John?
I'm doing fantastic, Tyler. It is the reason for the season. My kids are getting out of school, and then I get to go on vacation, which I'm really stoked about. Yes, it is.
Guys, we're going to get right into the shit. I don't know. First, follow me, Tyler F. and Stone on Instagram. Follow John at
JBanksFL on Instagram.
Follow the show at the Gym Owners Revolution on Instagram. Whatever you're listening to on, please leave us a review. Tell your friends who are cool and like gym business talk from guys that cuss and aren't particularly handsome enough to be on video. Yeah, let's get to it, guys. Make America Healthy Again. It's coming out. They're doing a whole thing with it. I don't know if it's going to be worth a shit. The entire movement. I like the idea that there's a conversation there, but this is now turning into my impression of what this thing is becoming. Is this like, I think it's just a silly like regulation play now.
That's a concern, right?
Yeah, and I don't want to get into like a hard like right versus left thing here necessarily, but understand that RFK has been a Democrat his entire life. So now his plan for getting people healthy is like, we're going to ban foods and we're going to come in with the long arm of the government. Yeah. And I was going to use something else here. but
the law.
Yes. Yeah. But they're going to come in with a hammer down with this like heavy regulatory move, which I just think is like not necessarily. I get spastic about this. I don't think banning seed oils and shit like that is like the worst thing in the world. I just don't think it's all that fucking important because the average person is not going to replace whatever fucking magic seed oil stuff that is like. It went from great health foods or some health foods are incredible to now these bad foods are poison, pure poison, all of them. And I don't think we have a seed oil problem or a food dyes problem in this country. We do have an excess calorie consumption problem that I think I would put first on the list.
It's a prioritization thing, right?
Yes. And when they talk like sugar is bad, I was like, yes. And the reason sugar is bad, sugar's not bad when people don't eat too much sugar. The issue is that sugar can make it harder for you to eat less sugar because it tastes so good. And if you're not paying attention, things can get out of hand pretty easily. But I've gone past the point of like demonizing food groups and demonizing ingredients. And I think that's a fucking, I don't know, almost overplayed high road stance from the science first community that I think does fail to understand the science first nutrition health coaching, your Mike Israetels of the world, right? That's always seed oils. Nothing wrong with seed oils. There's nothing wrong with sugars. And I get that kind of, but there is a behavioral side to some of this stuff. Is food that is fucking just extremely goddamn delicious for undisciplined people who weight loss or their physique or health at all doesn't represent like a large percentage of the thoughts that they have in their brain. Like that's just not their primary mission at the moment. It might represent 0% of their concerns. Some people go their whole life without thinking about that shit at all. For those types of people, they're just going to eat stuff that's good. Well, that's the problem. That stuff that's really good becomes what I call, when I'm nutrition coaching people, those are just calorie traps. That's the big thing. You just look at stuff and you're like, holy fuck, what? How much was this shit? It's like, I just posted this thing today, John. What I used to eat, one of my fucking fat guy meals. I'm doing this series that I am putting on now.
Oh, yeah, we talked about this.
My favorite like fat guy meals that I would eat or things that I would eat really, really regularly that weren't that exceptional. My every day at blue collar work was 6-pack of Mountain Dews because we had a 25-cent vending machine there. So cold ass Mountain Dew.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking high octane shit that glows in the dark.
South Dakota in January Mountain Dew.
Yeah, with a
outside.
Fucking refrigerated vending machine outside in the shop and 2 king-size Reese's Fast Break bars. I had them. I never paid every day. This was every day before lunch. The pops maybe would go on, but the Fast Break bars, maybe half of those 6 pops were going in before lunch. That was just my lunchtime stuff.
You ready for my lunch?
120 calories.
1920 with just those. How about that? I never
would brutal, but that's every day.
High.
And so we don't understand how much that stuff, like for a normal person who's just not paying attention, I should be so full off of 1900 calories. So it's not that, yes, there's nothing wrong with Mountain Dew if had in moderation. There's nothing wrong with a Reese's Fast Break bar in moderation, except a respectable serving size is 1/3 of a bar. And that's unreasonable to assume people without any control or just without much health thought in their brain. Yeah. They aren't very health oriented. That's a challenge for them. And so that's the reason. It's not, and I don't even like when they use the term addictive when they talk about this stuff, right? Oh, it's addictive. Well, not really. It's awesome. Like that's the first, you know what I mean? That's the first thing when we talk about the addiction. Like, no, yes, drugs are addictive. Do you know why? Because they're fucking awesome. Like they're pretty awesome. That like objectively, they're pretty, I promise the people doing them, they like doing them. That's why they're doing it. Except it gets to the point where it starts to ruin other aspects of their life. And then that becomes a problem. McDonald's, dude, I don't know what to say. It's still probably pretty good unless you overdo it. I could go, you give me one like double quarter pounder and I would eat it and enjoy it enough to go, God, I wish I had 4 more.
Oh,
for
yeah.
real. And I think that's the issue with the way the Make America Healthy Again stuff is going at what I would describe as, I don't even know what to call these, like not macros, but kind of, but like more or less like micro ingredients, right? Your dyes, your weird little shits. You're like, oh, we accidentally, we spray this stuff on the
other natural flavors.
Yes. But like this types of stuff, whether it is pesticides and all those things that are probably a part of our overall health ecosystem and a significant part, probably they are not a part of the obesity problem. And I think that's the big issue. If you delete if all you're eating is food grown out of your own garden with soil that has not been fucking tainted by Monsanto and their fucking demon semen or whatever whatever their products are, right?
Yeah.
And you have your own fucking animals and you're making your own bread. It's 3 ingredient bread and all that stuff. You can still get fat as fuck. You absolutely can still get fat as fuck because it is a caloric balance issue. Now, it's harder to get fat if you're eating things like rice, potatoes, and vegetables and good meat and all that stuff. But I've seen plenty of people who eat healthy ingredients in excess quantity still. They solve the first code, but they don't really rein in the gluttonous side of it. And I think that's the thing I need people to understand where this Make America Healthy Again initiative, it cannot be one dimensional and it cannot just be identifying bad things and red flagging them and regulating them into oblivion. That is not going to solve the problem. The problem is in every goddamn American household and in every goddamn American person's brain.
It's portions,
right?
Like American means Texas, baby. Like it's Texas sized, right? Like this idea of like, and I remember even something as simple as like a glass of water over in Europe. Like, are we doing shots of water?
Yes.
Like, what are we talking? What are we talking like this? Bring me 3 of those carafes because that's my cup. My cup is not like this is understand who I got served
8-ounce beers, dude.
Right. Well,
it's
because we want to make sure the beer doesn't get stale. Listen, bitch.
It won't, man.
I promise. You put 32 ounces in front of me, it's not gonna get stale.
Yeah.
I feel like it's jumped the shark. And what I mean, the Maha movement, what I mean about it is at least, and I could be wrong, but at least I feel like the fitness industry spent time for a while where it was like, you should probably just lift weights. And then Arnold comes on the scene and tries to just make lifting weights regular. It at least took 25 years for us to start getting, becoming a bunch of like, out the whole thing, like getting really, really lame about the whole concept where now we're splitting percentages and now we're talking about this super inside baseball type of attitude towards lifting. And I feel like we've almost jumped past the whole concept of what we're driving towards, which is like make America healthy again. That premise, because we talked about it like almost positively, like hopeful, like several episodes ago or whatever, when it first started, because it's like, finally we're having the discussion. But instead of being like portion control and like less is more and replace higher quality ingredients and replace your lower quality, instead we're immediately getting into nerd shit. So now I need to have like a molecular biology type fucking degree to realize also it's like, hold on, I have to like the dyes are the problem, not the fact that someone's eating an entire box of cereal
and all that stuff. And there may be tons of shit downstream,
but that's you're right. Separate conversation.
It's a separate conversation. Now, this is one thing that I don't believe in any of this is the thing that's happened with a lot of the political stuff on both sides is everyone likes to pretend that their guys playing like fucking super high level chess here. right? And it's never the case. Trust me, they're never more competent than you think you are. Never than you think they are. But one thing that might be good about this, we said, you know, they are having the discussion. And now here we are having this discussion.
Right.
To separate those 2 points from making America healthy again with removing the bad ingredients and removing, I would say, corrupt government attachments to science and relationships with these massive food companies, as far as like, if we want to gut out the FDA for the things that they've done in like very poorly regulating food and drugs, the pharma industry and the fucking food supply that we've had, that like both, I think we can determine have been very successful at their fundamental purpose, right? The American food like supply, that its purpose is to make sure that there is plenty of calories to go around. We have, I think, probably one of the most robust food supplies that's ever existed in all of humanity. Right, we really do. I can get ice cream delivered to my door in 20 minutes right now, even in the middle of fucking nowhere. I can get a DoorDash. I get anything, right? So we are so far from starving to death, right? And we're not having a bunch of like sick people in regards to like short-term stuff, like literally like bad ingredients. We're not having a ton of like recalls and food poisoning outbreaks and tainted this. It's not like that. It's not that crazy that I'm experiencing, considering the scale of what our food supply is. And pharma, right? If I deal with some of the individual innovations that they've made, yes, please, antibiotics. Yes, please, some of these other things that like are obviously these things that keep us, our general lifespan, from being 30 years old, because we're not dying every time we have to get stitches because we get infected and shit. There's a lot of stuff in regards to pharmaceuticals that I think are great. However, that's like their fundamental purpose is that stuff. And now there's profit driving and these weird relationships with government. And now I'm like, well, okay, everything the FDA has done has not really furthered those other, like the good, noble causes lately. And it's been really pushing the, let's keep the food addictive. Let's make sure we blame fat and eggs and fucking dairy and not sugar. They start to have this corrupt relationship with science on behalf of these major food companies and sugar and beverage companies. Then there's corrupt science research going on now in regards to the pharma stuff, right? And now the FDA is in this weird spot, fucking poorly regulating that stuff with money coming in one pocket and fucking like different, what's the word? And that, while parroting approval or denial of things out of the one side of their mouth. It is completely corrupt. So I'm okay if we want to gut that stuff out. Want to castrate that, great. And I think that's anytime we're trying to remove corruption in regards to people making money off of making Americans less healthy or being predatory, just even in business, I'm kind of fine with that. But that's not the problem with the obesity crisis. And it's with all of these things is like, you know, if you had to choose between eating nothing but Fruit Loops that have food dye in them for a year and still being 150 pounds, but you're going to lose 150 pounds in that year, I promise you at the end of that year, like you'd be better off getting that 150 pounds off you if you're that obese, almost at all costs. They carve it off you. If you use drugs to get it off, it doesn't fucking matter. The health effects of being extremely obese are, I don't think we can minimize them at all and do them any justice because they are extreme. Get the weight off fast. When I get clients who are very overweight, I don't fuck around with this 1 pound a week shit. If you got 100, 150 pounds to lose, we're going to figure this out right now. We're going to go fast because if this takes 5 years, it's better than it taking 30. But if this takes 1 year, it is so much better for you, regardless of what we do by rushing the weight off of you too quickly. Like that's my philosophy when I coach these people. And I think that I am seeing this Make America Healthy Again movement drop the ball by letting that slide. I see people on the internet now this is the first time they're hearing about, food dyes might cause cancer and behavioral problems in kids. You know, sugar might be a bit of an issue. You know, they're just putting bunches of excess sugar and stuff for no reason. And I see people who go, oh yeah, good, they're coming for this, as though that's the reason they're fat. And it's not. And it's not going to help them not be fat when this is all said and done either. It's like you do need more. We need, and I don't think it's regulation for what I'm talking about. I don't think we can regulate calories going into Americans, right? I just feel like that's a come and take the hoagie out of my goddamn mouth.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because there's an element where I think it's people get really lame and stupid when your guy wins.
Yeah.
And you allow anytime, when has the government done any of the things really well? So first, like, stay there, right? Like, stay right in that pocket. So if we believe that the government is not really successful in what it's trying to implement and how it goes about it, there's always unintended consequences, backdoor dealings, and a bunch of shit that happens that no one ever sees. And there's always ulterior motives. So we have to remember that's the standard. That's the given.
Yeah.
Now you got to, don't make the mistake. Don't slide into the trap where now, okay, well, great. Government says they're going to come in anytime that they're on the offensive. You got to, for me, it's like, you got to put up the guards.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to use government to pull stuff apart and less regulation and all that kind of shit, kind of what you talked about, Tyler, which is like, hey, you want to come in and pull these things down and pull them apart a little bit.
And it's into ashes. JFK, let's do it.
But I don't want Maha to become the next I don't want another agency. Like, we don't need another agency to get built and created. Now they get to decide, because the problem is it's like, if you look at it from a historical perspective, right? Absolute power corrupts absolutely. You can start with the most pure and honest intentions to want to do the thing. But if you allow that to go too far, just take it to its final logical end place, it ends up being a tyrannical group, which is now it's not allowed to be there. It's like, do we want to make more things is that the goal? Like, I don't want companies to be poisoning people without their knowledge.
What's the what's the angle that we could possibly regulate the cow? This is what I mean, is like, it turns into, remember when they were talking about in big cities, they were going to eliminate the big gulps
and straws.
And straw, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, big gulps. It was like, we're not going to sell the 64-ounce fountain sodas anymore. We're not going to do that because we're just giving people 4,000. Well, but they can just buy 2 of the smaller ones. Like, there's nothing there. I just think we're barking up the wrong tree. Now, I want to get at what I think the actual solution is. This lies in a pocket. The actual solution to this, how do we make America healthy again question, the final solution to the question, is personal accountability. But that does not come on its own, because everyone right now is personally accountable to the way they look and the way their body is. They are. Most just don't know what to look for and aren't paying attention. And this is what we talked about the other week, how Weight Watchers and Herbalife are making billions and billions of dollars, while lots of you gyms, by the way, they're making probably millions of dollars in your town while you're over there struggling as a gym owner and a coach to get new members. Mm-hmm. And I think it's important that we take up this mantle as an industry, as gyms that are on the ground, that are in this community, is that we take up the mantle in doing the things that I think are necessary to help Americans actually get healthy as a population. Starts in your community. It's not going to start from DC on its way down. But that starts with you as a coach, you as a gym owner. One, market your goddamn self so people fucking know who you are and what you do. Market the successes that your clients have so people know that it's possible. And then from there, you need to go do a real fucking good job helping the people that come in. Because if we can educate, not in that order, it's probably going to go more like, we need to inspire, then we need to educate and inform these people on what to do, and then we need to hold them accountable. And from there, and by the way, this is a for-profit fucking plan here, which is nice, because every single person who wants to, I can inspire as my marketing, right? That's my marketing, is to inspire people to lose weight, show them what's possible, and show them, I did it, this client did it, you can do it, here's where you go. They know exactly where to go. When they come in with me, then I'm going to educate them and inform them on the actual details of how this shit works, man. And a lot of that does. That's like, we need to look at what you are doing, but also let's just assume that everything you're fucking doing is wrong. So let's just get going the right direction while we can course correct in hindsight based on all the bullshit we're doing here. Like, I don't need to navigate my way through this fucking hellscape that you're in. And how can you still eat fast food 6 days a week? But how we're going to, like, no. Okay. Yeah. Now, you out there as a coach, you can have your pathway, however you teach this, but they need to be educated on what to do. And they need to then learn some stuff about food and calories and what's really important, because what I see out there is a bunch of fucking people that are being just parroting nonsense. The people that talk the most about food dyes and that are getting riled up and excited about this Make America Healthy shit are just missing the boat. The same thing we talked about earlier. They're just talking about the fucking dyes and not the fact that That has nothing to do with why you're fat. That might have something to do with why you'll have cancer and die. But if you live long enough, you're going to die of cancer. I just want you to know that. Like, that is how this goes. I don't know how the human body and the cells work, but you're going to, if nothing else gets you, that's what does. That's what happens at the end of a cell's life. This is how this goes. So I do fully believe that if we can inspire people as our marketing, that gets people in. Then they're fired up and ready to go. They know that it's possible. Then we're going to inform and educate them on what to do, and we're going to guide them through that process while we're making a good living, having a tremendous impact on these people's lives. And then we leverage that success and turn that into 10 more people who are in and around them that are inspired. It may come to you. Maybe they do it on their own, but it doesn't matter. Okay, because there's enough fucking people out here. Like, there's plenty of goddamn money in this for everybody here. And that's the problem, is we're all worried about having like the most clever fucking unique fitness proposition. Or I do hot hit. Well, I do CrossFit, but it's not really CrossFit because, I can't say the name. Or it's like, no, we do strength training. Well, I'm a bodybuilding coach. Well, I did fit mommy stuff. Great. Show me the results.
Right.
Show the people who want results the results you've gotten from other people. And again, if you can't do it, you probably fucking suck. If you can't show me any of it, then I don't know what you're doing. It's fine, but just don't wonder why you're not getting people beating down your door to do business with you.
Also, how much more successful, because here's what's really going to happen. And I'm going to be really guilty of this. And knowing you, Tyler, for as long as we've known each other, I think you're going to be guilty of this as well. As soon as someone tells me that I can't, it's, oh, well, fuck you. I actually wasn't even interested in the Fruit Loops. But now I'm actually interested. Now I'm going to start buying all the
I would like to lose 30 pounds eating just foods that'll give me cancer.
Yeah.
Just to be like, listen, guys, what are we doing here? Please, let's be real about this. People need those lessons.
And the problem is that it's how much more likely is someone going to, if you just get them to be successful, get them to lose some weight, everything you just described, Tyler, how much easier is it going to be then to take them to the next step, which is going to be, hey, let's think about, you've actually started to incorporate eating meat and eating cleanly. Now let's talk about, what does it actually mean when they say cage free? What does it mean when they say organic? Now, like the ability for someone to then take that next step and go deeper into that water is way more likely than the person that has made no effort at all, but all they know is that Big Daddy uppercase G government is now coming in and is now saying that everything that they eat is bad for them, and now they're not allowed to have it anymore. Who's going to be more happy about trying to make that change and get better at the thing when it comes to knowledge and actually executing? That's going to make a difference. In fact, you're probably going to have folks that are much like you and I that are not as far down the path that we are, but are equally ignorant and hate anyone that tries to exercise authority over them. You're probably going to cause a lot more people to do more harm to themselves just to say, no, hey, how about fuck you? How about fuck you? You don't get to just take the things. I like my fucking Oreos.
You're going to pry my red number 4 die from my cold dead fingers.
Yeah,
and that's a fucking weird hill for anyone to choose to die on also. Right. But again, that's not the problem. Right. Like there's plenty of other things that you can go drink yourself to death too. Like there's plenty of legal things that you can do that are going to be fucking detrimental to your health. And that's the issue right now, is that people don't know. And so I think that's great right now that people are now starting to pay attention to ingredients, but they're shining the light on the wrong shit. Sorry about that. And I think for you guys as gym owners, this conversation is not going to go away. I hope not, unless the drone situation continues to just distract everybody.
Right.
But this conversation needs to make its way to the general population, needs to make its way to people who would never consider joining a gym. That's great. That starts to mobilize people, make people thinking about their health and looking things up. Problem is, there's so much noise on the internet right now. It's really difficult to find anything that's worth, if you're just a person, just a dude with no understanding of anything, and you just start looking up, like, I don't know what I should eat for weight loss. Look this up. Let's just look this up right now. What should I eat to lose weight? Eggs, nuts, it's just like a whole list of foods. You know what I mean? It's just this endless list of foods that have been deemed healthy best foods for weight loss, free meal generator, personalized plans, Weight Watchers. Look at that top Healthline, healthy foods to support weight loss.
But
Like
it
none of
takes
this is like fucking like just gets to the root of the information. People aren't seeking information. They're seeking like, just give me a list of what to eat. But then they don't really know. They're not equipped with an understanding. And that's the gist of all of this stuff. And by the way, if I look at this list of things that people should eat to lose weight, the thing I just pulled up, a lot of this shit is just stuff that like these people aren't just going to eat this. Like this is a list of 12 things. And I promise there's not a single person who's going to read this and go, perfect. I will only eat apples, asparagus, avocados, broccoli, carrots, cottage cheese, eggs, lentils, mushrooms, oats, nuts, and pears.
You want to know why?
Because it's fucking not anything. That list is useless. It's just a list of foods. And by the way, you can get fat as shit. I've seen avocados sabotage so many health-minded people's fucking actual, like, now these are people that are already relatively fit, but they're like crushing avocados and nuts because they're like, it's healthy fats. Even the keto stuff now is just, it's just ways to eat extremely high calories without carbs. That's all. Did I say this on the podcast? This keto shit. I ended up in a keto Facebook group, like recipe group recently. Yeah. Because like it's like really good. Well, in the beginning, I saw a couple good recipes because I'm looking for low carb alternatives to certain types of things that I eat often, right? And I end up finding the shit, and all it is just bacon, butter, avocado, bacon wrapped, and I'm reading a lot of like 2,000 and 3,000 calorie meals that just don't have carbs. So there's all these people, and then there's all these questions. I'm not really losing weight. But in the fitness space, we did a lot of like, let's try some lower carb, higher fat stuff, especially for people with fucking mental problems. And like, we would go through this, and these people would struggle to lose weight. It's like, you're eating fucking 1,500 to 1,800 calories of nuts and avocados a day. And that isn't exactly as many as those of you think. That's like two handfuls of nuts and like an avocado and a half. Like, that's not that much fucking food. And so I've seen these lists where people go, oh, good, avocado's great. I'm going to have 2 a day. There's a lot of goddamn calories in an avocado. And that's the stuff that people don't get. And I'm not a huge fan of like forcing that calories first conversation on people. Because I do think that sucks too. You know what I mean? Yeah, like say a medium avocado. You have medium avocado is like 300 calories. Like you could have like legitimately like bread instead. But this conversation about these ingredients equal good, these ones equal bad is not complete. And I am afraid one of the things that I see in the modern internet in regards to the spin on topics is there's enough push about some very specific thing, and so much content comes out, and so many articles and blogs and videos and mainstream and fucking, alternate media stuff comes out on this subject. Now, Make America Healthy Again and RFK and Trump are big, fucking obviously well-known concepts in the media world right now. So everybody like us, couple schmucks just trying to get some people to fucking listen to us, guess what we're talking about? Those trending topics. And it's like, but if they don't build upon it, like we're doing here, all of that information and all that hype and all of that search engine funneling that takes you to this subject is going to get immediately redirected into this like micro ingredients. Now, microplastics might be fucking more of a concern for us than these dyes, maybe. Right. But I don't know either.
Something you called out that I liked though, Tyler, is like the job is to reach your job, our job as like in the fitness industry, working with clients, right? If you're a personal trainer, if you're a coach, if you're a gym owner, your job is to help clarify, to clean up, to make it more streamlined, more understandable for who are the people. This is why it's like, it needs to be personal for you, right? Yeah. It needs to be personal because it needs to be your neighbors. It needs to be your family. It needs to be your kids' friends and the people that you go to the grocery store with, and you go to games with, and you are in your community. Because the reason why is that you do not want media. You do not want Facebook. You do not want You don't want them being the only ones that are educating the people in your community on these topics, because then they're going to be totally captured. Like this through like a historical view of how narratives have been controlled by governments and corporations and companies since the beginning of time. When someone holds all of the knowledge and the populace, the many, don't have that knowledge, then you just take it at face value. And you have to allow the fact that it's okay. Well, then most of your population, I promise you, that you live with, they have minimal to non-existent knowledge of what they should be putting in their face.
Yeah.
Like what they're consuming. They don't know. And all they're going to know is what's going viral. Whatever Elon Musk has decided is important today is now what every MAGA person on earth is going to think about. And now that's whatever his opinion is now their opinion. And in my opinion, it is our job, boots on the ground. If you want to be able to make a difference in your communities, you got to translate it. You got to be able to make it, bring it down to their level, which is what we talk about all the time, which is, hey, you probably should. We need to clean up the fact that, right, John, your son, me, Johnny, when he's in middle school, is a bag of Funyuns and 2 vanilla Cokes for lunch. Probably should clean that up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that's what my everyday lunch was when I was at school.
And I think a lot of the stuff that
there.
When these people start coming to you, you guys know this. You guys have coached enough people amongst the general population, I hope. If you're only coaching people that are quinoa and fucking avocado people, like, cool. What a sweet impact you're out there having. I don't know what to say. Like, those people are nice people, but you better get some goddamn fucking normies in here, or else you're going to run out of people. Because we're not getting more healthy if you're not working with those people. But most normal people will come in, and I've had this discussion about eggs the other day, right? I've been making some posts about my mostly boring egg white concoctions, like microwave egg white, my egg white frisbees, man. I don't I don't know what to say. They go in, they're really filling. Do they taste good? No, but they don't taste bad. But I don't know what to say. What do I need out of my breakfast? Does it got to be fucking Frosted Flakes and shit? Like I'm fine with this, but I would get people go, well, why don't you just have normal eggs? And I go, that is the conversation we need to have. Right. Because now they go, well, I thought normal eggs were healthy. And I'm like, normal eggs are really healthy. But if I have 1 carton of egg whites every day, do you know how many calories that is? 500. It's 500 calories. I get 100 grams of protein out of that. Do you know how many eggs I have to eat to get 100 grams of protein? 16, maybe 17. That's a lot of fucking eggs to eat. By the way, that's good. You're going to shit. Just grease lightning. Also, how many calories in 16, 17 eggs? It's like 2,500, something like that, right?
Right.
So that difference is like something maybe it's 2,000. I don't remember. But like that difference is enough for me. If I'm getting that much protein from eggs versus egg whites, and obviously I wouldn't do 16 a day, but I've had many dozen egg a day things. If I am trying to assess what I'm eating and remove calories, I go egg whites because it's just as filling for the most part, not to the point of misery. I still feel light and can do things, and it's very high protein for the same amount of satiety.
Well, I remember doing this because, Tyler, I ran through as we were perfecting your Dudes Rock program, which was the nutrition specific stuff. I ran through it. And I remember because you do a good job of giving like recommended just what to eat. Yep. We're not gonna become hyper specific or obsess over
2
calories.
to 4
it
eggs.
just is
3 to 5 eggs, something like that. Yeah.
But then there was an egg white option. And I never really fucked with egg whites, right? But I have chickens. So for me, it was like, well, I got all the fucking eggs in the world. And see, I'm a 12 eggs a day kind of person because I got so many eggs. But then I looked at the calories. I was like,
it hurts.
Oh my God.
It hurts a lot.
Because it's literally, I think it's like 3 to 1 of calorie of a regular egg with the yolk versus an egg white. Yeah. And I was like, whoa. Like I've never even in what I understood, it's like, oh no, if I want to lose weight, if I want to cut weight, it's
we can't frivolously have an extra 1,000 calories floating around that just aren't like it's just not there. Which I'll have my favorite thing now. We'll give a look at a little fucking pro tip here. One of my favorite things now is I'll microwave the egg whites a little bit. I mean, you can cook them like a normal person, I guess. Ain't nobody got time for that though. I got guys that do air fryers and stuff, but I was like, sure, it seems a little lighten the loafer's way to eat eggs. Like, just microwave them like a man. Be a man. Microwave your eggs and eat them in misery while you stand up in your kitchen.
Don't be a bitch.
But then I'll just take one egg. After the egg whites are very hot, one egg with the yolk and put it on top.
Yeah.
Break the yolk and kind of smear it around. You still get it to get the richness. That's only an extra like 70 calories, and it kind of livens up the whole thing. But that works quite well for me. But for a normal person now, but that's the conversation I want to have. And then another guy reaches out to me and goes, well, but what if I'm not trying to cut weight? I was like, perfect. You're trying to put on weight? Yeah, eggs are going to be great. So if you want to get 100 grams of protein out of this, just go eat 16 to 17 eggs tomorrow. Oh, that's why. Yes, that's why. You know what I mean? Like, protein per calorie matters, and then protein per, like, can you get more in? That's the one nice thing I liked about Stan, not one, it's many, about Stan Efferding's vertical diet, is it's about scalability. Everything has to be at a point where if it doesn't work on the way up, building in calories, it's likely going to be problematic when you're trying to reduce as well. And there's ways you can do when you're trying to reduce way down to like make stuff more filling, but that's only a few different variables you need to change to keep your calories extremely low while being full. I'd still go egg whites over fucking eggs, right? And if I'm going up in calories, I still need so much more protein at that point. I'm probably still going egg whites. And that becomes, but that's now like each one of those people with different goals who are confused about why I think regular eggs are not. I don't think anything about regular eggs. They're great. I have
Yeah,
it's 12 dozen regular eggs down here right now. My wife eats them every day. I have some sometimes, but this is the only way I can still have like booze from time to time and like make the calories work. Everything has to be very, very, very tight. I can have one exception. I cannot have 4 or 5. So eggs are just not on the menu for me. And I got a lot of people who want to have many exceptions. And now the whole system is broken because they're not understanding. If you want to borrow 500 calories for this, it's got to come from somewhere else, or else it's going to come from your progress. That's where it's going to come out of your progress. So it's going to slow you down or stall you out.
And I really like this concept, Tyler, you talked to me about the other day, which is for every exception someone requests is one step further or one step closer they are taking to not achieving the goal that they want.
Mm-hmm.
Every time that you ask, well, what about this? Well, could I do this instead? It's no, motherfucker. No, because you aren't in the business of exceptions right now.
Yeah, right. And I think that's to get to the Make America Healthy conversation is nobody is even oriented on what a baseline should be. Now, for us as gym owners, coaches, personal trainers, nutrition coaches, diet experts, whatever you want to call yourself, you can do a lot in regards to your marketing and the people you get in helping people that you strictly do business with. There's one layer more that I think we can do to help that won't involve the government having to help us, which is speak publicly, share this message. How are you going to do it? You can do it on your social media to make conversation, but maybe go speak at a fucking library on some stuff for some people and some health shit. Speak to kids at a middle school about it. And then find a way to make your messaging that's not going to weird out kids and make them crazy about their food, but like make them excited about eating healthy and keeping the calories low. And I teach kids very differently than I teach adults, but the kids that I teach do understand. The calories do matter. One of my favorite exercises with the kids that I was coaching the other day, these are not 9-year-olds, these are like 14-year-olds. It's like, give me your go-to McDonald's order. And they're like, all right, 2 McChickens, 10-piece. And a large fry and whatever. And I pull it up and you're like, bro, that's like at your size. It's like all you need to be eating all day. What are you doing?
Like for the week is a week's worth of calories.
What are you doing? And so, but that's good for them to know. Because some of this stuff, like John, you didn't even have your eye-opening moment about eggs versus egg whites and the actual caloric cost on just eggs as a whole. Can I be gluttonous on eggs? I don't know. They have these Star Healthy stamp, right? That's my big worry is when things start getting a health rating. They start get us, and there was talk about this. There's gonna be some sort of clever certification or stamp that's gonna go on these things. And my wife got this new app that you look up restaurants and it gives their foods on their menu like a rating. But that rating is based on like ingredients and food quality and healthy, trademark healthy. That's the problem. Trademark healthy. I don't fucking like that. Nothing is inherently healthy. Nothing is inherently toxic. It's the dose, right? The difference between poison and medicine is the dose. Eggs, great. But if you eat 25 of them a day, actually, John, let's be real. If you eat a dozen eggs a day, you got to, and don't accommodate for that in your overall caloric account.
For the rest of the
you will be eating, quote, healthy until you're so fat that you're not healthy anymore.
Correct.
But it's all on healthy ingredients. I'm going to use beef tallow instead of Cetos, great, dude, but like calorie for calorie, it is the same. Like you can't just be frying shit all the time.
It's still fried
beef
food.
It's still frying food, dude.
Right.
And those are the conversations that normal people need to have. And I don't think we need to sit around and like have uninteresting conversations about macros and fucking magic ingredients. That, by the way, as a gym owner, as a coach, you don't actually know anything about food dyes. You don't. Do you really? Are you out here in the lab? Like, I don't fucking know. I got no idea. But I do know how to make you less fat. And I don't even have to address the food dye issue, because if you're eating normal foods in reasonable quantities, likely there's not going to be a lot of Fruit Loops going on. I ranted pretty hard, John, but I got to go. I have to go coach.
I know you do. We're good.
The world needs you out there, guys. So get out there, get awesome, make America healthy again. It starts with you. I want to touch one more thing really quick before we go. I mentioned that you can speak with kids. We can do that stuff, right, in regards to the messaging and nutrition. I think that is important. You as a leader in health in your community, you let doctors do it? Got some medical client doctors who can't be speaking to diet fucking at all, and wouldn't, and it would get buried in the conversation, and can't execute any of the habits themselves either. It's not a fucking thing that they're equipped to do. Let them stick to the doctoring. And if you're out there helping people lose weight, talk about it. I do believe there is a potential for, and this is where it gets really scary, government to start to have some of these discussions in the public schools. Right? We're like, this should be taught in schools, caloric balance and stuff. But right now the science is too corrupted by money, and the FDA is kind of captured. A lot of the universities are captured. A lot of these institutions are completely captured by the money that is funding this research, to where what research is the government going to be using to put forward this messaging again? Are we going to end up with food pyramid 2.0? All the food pyramid really needed to do was leave it exactly as it was, to be totally honest. I'm fine with grains, wherever they are. Just leave it there. That's fine. Just talk about
leave it alone.
2 priorities: overall calories and then overall protein intake. That's fine. You'd be fine. If you actually, I mean, you could have grains be the basis of it if you want to just have, if that number is here, right? It's not that big of a deal. Like, I'm pretty much equal parts carbs, protein, fat on a daily basis. Sure. Kind of works out to it. So, but anyway, that's the scary thing is I'm afraid the government will actually start to try to teach this stuff. And I think they're going to fuck that up. So be out in front of it, have messaging, be used to communicating this stuff to people, because that's how you're going to make a real difference. I got to go. Follow the show, Gym Owners Podcast. Follow John at JBanksFL. Follow me at Tyler F. Goodbye. We love you.
Goodbye.